I am Fred Ogola. I'm an expert in decision making. When I hear people speak about things which have not been thoroughly analyzed, I actually want to analyze them and see what is the best decision that can be taken. Rumors is in town, the government is going to have a lockdown in Kenya anytime from now. And people are rushing to shopping malls and markets to buy food supplies that can last them 3 weeks because that's the rumor, 21 days. So the question here is the government going to do a lockdown? Can they successfully do a lockdown? And how should they be able to make this decision? So I also want to use a whiteboard because during this corona crisis, the issue has been more of whiteboards. So first, let us look at the following factors. Population. So population, Kenya is 50 million people, according to last year's census. Now, after considering population, we have to consider what is important, which is called infection rate. We're being told that this thing has an infection rate between 45 and 70. So if we take 50%, then that means that nearly, or if you like, 25 million people will be infected by coronavirus. Now, after considering the infection rate, we are going to look at what is very important, that how many people reach critical stage. So we are being told that that is between 7 and 10%. So if we take 10%, the worst case scenario of the 25 million Kenyans, then we are going to reach a number, and that number is 2.5 million Kenyans by population. Now, if we reach there, this means that this will happen if we do nothing. Like the government leaves people to live their life as usual, no interferences, business as usual. 2.5 million Kenyans are likely to be infected in critical stage. Now, the most important thing now to consider from there is what is the healthcare system strength? What is the strength of the healthcare system in Kenya? But this will be measured by how many ventilators can be made available that can save lives of the 2.5 million Kenyans are likely to be in a critical stage. If we are using the data from Italy, China, and other countries that have faced the scourge of this COVID-19. So that means that we can say between 0 and, if you like, 500 ventilators in the country, because I don't have any statistics on that. So any number you can put for yourself, that means that between 2.5 million Kenyans and something between 2.4 million Kenyans are likely to die if nothing happens. So then should something happen? Of course, yes. The government needs to do something. What do they need to do? They may do a lockdown. So this lockdown to be able to flatten the curve should happen, and what needs to happen for the government to make a decision here is to consider, do they have capacity? Do they have capacity to do a lockdown? And capacity here could mean, first, can they afford it? And if they can afford it, do they have the infrastructure? And infrastructure here is a big word. Infrastructure here could mean, are there units within the country that can distribute? Is it county government? Is it national government? Is it, which kind of structure will be used to distribute? Which location will you have? Can the government trust everyone in Kenya to the last man and woman and give them the essential supplies they require when there's a lockdown? Are we even able to be like a developed world like UK or like Italy or Europe, whereby everybody is known by an address, by a road? You can say, Arambe Avenue, number this, that, you can enter this door, this floor. It is not that specific, therefore this may be difficult. So what is the government likely to experience here? The consequences of doing a lockdown which is not successful. First, there can be a social unrest. Social unrest, which means that guys will demonstrate. Secondly, there will be insecurity, because people will start getting out and doing all sorts of manner of things. And then thirdly, the government may lose their legitimacy to rule, because the people can become unrulable. And if they become unrulable, this will be a big consequence for the government. So then, what should the government do if they are facing this crisis? And what are they actually doing? I can tell you for sure, the government won't do a complete lockdown, and they won't do it successfully. the government will do by sitting on the fence. They're going to sit on the fence. And actually they are sitting on the fence. Because all decisions we are making now is after the effect. If we want to really control the coronavirus, we need to treat the cause, not the effect. Now we are saying, if the numbers go more, we are going to do this. I heard the minister saying, 2 weeks are more critical. If more cases are registered, therefore we are going to have a lockdown. So that will be after effect. We should go for cause. What is the cause? Contact. And contact is brought by who? The middle class. The middle class are the ones bringing contact, because the ones who have traveled. This is a disease of the rich. You travel, it has been brought by plane. Seriously, that is it. Up to tonight, we are still having planes landing from somewhere else. So the government is sitting on the fence. Now, are they wrong? No. A government, as we know it, a government was never born to be efficient. The government was never meant to be efficient. They are not meant to be effective. A government is meant to be functional. So what are they doing? They are sitting on the fence, showing Kenyans we are doing half of the business. Business have gone to half, work from home, but they are not making a stand decision to really flatten the curve, or if you like, give us good economic well-being. So there are two issues here. One is economic, then the other one is health. So if you look at this thing, looking at two very important ethical theories. The first theory is utilitarian ethics. Utilitarian ethics means greatest good for greatest number. Greatest good for greatest number means let the 2.5 million Kenyans die for the sake of the remaining Kenyans. We shall be fine, no lockdown, no hard business, business as usual, but some people are going to die. That is utilitarian ethics. Ethics of utility. Economists will go with that. Now, there's another ethics we call the ethics of duty. The ethics of duty is what we call deontological ethics. It is a virtue ethics, which means that one life is as important as 50 million lives. We should do something to save even the very one life that can be lost. Whether we get it right or not, that is not the issue. Because remember, utilitarian ethics is about consequences. Consequentialist approach. The deontological ethics is about ethics of duty. It is our duty to do it, so we lock down. We will not wait and see how many lives can be lost, how many lives can be saved. We will do the right thing, period. Wrong thing, we don't do, period. So do good and avoid evil. Is the government going to go for deontological ethics? I don't think so. The government is neither in the utilitarian ethics, neither are they in deontological. They are simply doing what? Sitting on the fence. Ladies and gentlemen, mark my words, there will be no lockdown. It won't be a successful lockdown. They are going to do half of a lockdown. They can't do a complete lockdown because they have no capacity, they can't afford it, and they can't service it. Thank you very much.